on, guys? Wanted to make a video explaining my rifle. I wanted to get into the long range game, wanted to shoot a little further out, so I wanted to get a bolt action. But I didn't have four, five, $6,000 to drop on a rifle. So I did some research, looked into different components, and figured out a way I can go and piecing together my own and coming in at a lot less. So currently I'm sitting about $1,800 total for my rifle, the way it sits right now. And I'll take some time and explain to you what I got and what I think of the pieces I got. So I have checked this rifle and it is unloaded. There's no magazine in it, there's no bullets in my magazine, and the chamber is clear. I can visually see it and it's clear. So I decided to go with the Remington 700 receiver. Remington has a really big name behind the receivers. A lot of the nicer rifles actually do use this receiver, so I figured that it'd be my best bet. I can always upgrade something a little later. I paid $686 for this rifle, and at the time when I purchased it, there was a $50 rebate. So I got it for a really good price. So with that $50 rebate, I actually went out and bought a Surefire muzzle brake. I went with the $50 one over the one that's $100 simply because of the fact that I wasn't going to get a suppressor on this rifle. It's not something that's really in my cards at the moment. So there was really no need for me to spend that extra $50 on getting a suppressor mount when I didn't need one. So one area of the rifle that I did splurge a little bit on was my bipod. I decided to go with the Atlas bipod. I was debating between the Harris and the Atlas. But with the different features that the Atlas provides that the Harris did not have, I thought I would go with the Atlas. It was a little bit more expensive. If you do go the Atlas, you will spend about $200 more than the Harris bipod. But in my eyes, it was well worth it. It comes with the American Defense Quick Detach. So it makes it really easy to go from one rifle to another. So I just have the one bipod that I'll switch around between different rifles. So after shooting the rifle for a while with the Hogue over mold stock, I came to the conclusion that had to go. It was putting too much pressure in the front end and it was making a lot of contact with the barrel. So after doing some research, I decided to go with the Magpul Hunter 700. It was a really reasonable priced and it had really good reviews. It's really stiff in the front and it doesn't make any contact. It truly is a free floating barrel now. I also picked up the Magpul bottom metal, so now I can use my magazines to feed the rifle. So another little feature that I got in this rifle was the KRG bolt lift. The handle that comes on this rifle is a little small, so I wanted to get something with a little bit more grip to it. So I went with this just to see how much I would like it, if it's something that I would want to change out. Maybe in the future I might send out my bolt to get something bigger put on, but for now this is working good. So one of the biggest features that I put on this rifle would definitely be my trigger. I wanted to replace the trigger. I did not care for the one that came on the X Mark Pro. I loosened down as much as it would let me loosen, and it was still pretty stiff, really spongy. So I went with the Trigger Tech trigger. It was something that came out, I would say, not too long ago for Remington 700s, but it's definitely a very nice trigger. It comes out of the box with a 2-pound trigger. I think it was 2.5-pound trigger. So when you actually go to pull the trigger, there is no take up at all. It's definitely like at the wall when you put your finger on the trigger. It's a very light trigger. Only, like I said, about 2.5 pounds is what it comes out. I haven't touched it since it came out of the box, but even when you just barely put your finger on it, it does go. There is no take up at all, and I truly love that trigger. So to top off this rifle, I originally had a Bushnell 10 times magnification scope on it. I recently changed that out to a primary arms 4 to 14 first focal point ACSS and R grid. And I have it with a Weaver base and Barris rings. So if you have any other questions about any of the items that I used on this rifle, please leave them in the comments below, or you can reach me on Instagram at Western.ops. If you like this video, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thanks. Have a great day.